Hello, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors, and welcome back to my channel. I almost goofed and didn't start my camera. I touched the button on my lamp to light it, thinking I was starting the camera. So I almost sat down and recorded nothing. All right, so you guys, I am still working on these front pages of these signatures, and I've been thinking about this particular pocket for a while, and I haven't tried it yet. So I'm sure it's been made before. I've not made it myself. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. I want to really kind of center the music. I don't even know what's going to end up showing. So, but the page is too big. So I'm going to first trim it to fit the length of my page. Let me get my paper trimmer. It really just barely fits. It is from, you know, the little guide thingy to guide thingy. That's the official term. I could save these because they're nice and aged to stamp on them. I do that sometimes. It's already falling apart. Hopefully it folds okay. I'm going to glue it though, so where I fold, even if it cracks, it'll be fine. Okay, let me get these out of the way. I want this, the pretty partner, just because, well, no, it's not going to show. Let me, you guys, I don't know. I think I have plenty. I think it'll be fine. There's plenty. I want this to be the inside. I want this to be the outside. So really, I'm just folding it over for the sake of sturdiness of a pocket. And yes, it is cracking. But again, that's okay. If you don't like the way that looks, you can always trim it just a little bit with your scissors, if I can find my scissors. But really, it's just to double up the paper for thickness to be a little pocket. So let's glue that down. Okay. So this will be in line with my paper page over here. Did I get it cut? Well, I think I did. And then we want to cut it, fold it where our, or maybe just a little bit shorter than where our signature fold is. Maybe just a little shorter than. It is definitely cracking. It's pretty old. I don't know how old it is. Some old sheet music that I found at a yard sale or estate sale quite some time ago. Okay. Let's see if that fits well. Yes, that fits well. So what we did was folded this over just to thicken it. This is going to end up being a pocket right here. So that's why I wanted to thicken my page just a little bit. And then we folded it because this is where the signature fold is. And now we can cut this off because we don't need this extra. You can always use it somewhere else. Okay. So now it fits the page. Yes, fits the page. Now here's the pockets. I think I'm going to make 2 pockets out of this. So I want to cut it, right down the middle. So let's measure so that it's pretty even. I have just a little bit more than 8.5. So let me just kind of center it so that it's right at the half mark. 8.5 is 4 1/4. And I will do it over here as well. 4 1/4. And just to get a nice straight line, we will mark it. Okay. Now, making sure that we're only cutting this flap. Okay. And then what we want to do is fold this down, and I'm not quite sure how I want it to look. If I just want a slight angle to it, if I want more of an angle to it. Yeah, I think I want more of an angle to it. So let's go halfway. How about that? So I have just about 4 1/4, which would be 2 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to fold here, and then I want it to be, up to the corner. And it's not quite all the way to the corner, but it's close enough. And then same for this one. So it's real simple, but I have not ever made one like this before, so I thought it might be fun to give it a try. Again, I didn't get it perfectly to my little mark, but that's all right. I think what I'll do is let's ink, because that'll make it look fun, right? It'll just jazz it right up. I get these urges where I want to go shopping. I have nothing I need to buy except for groceries. Do I want to go grocery shopping? Absolutely not. But I feel like I want to go shopping. And I know that if I do, I'll look around and I'll find nothing and I'll have wasted a crafting day. So will I go shopping? Probably not. I do need groceries though. Okay. I don't think any of my page here is really going to show, but I think because I've been doing it on the other little like short pages, I'll go do it on this one too. Just ink around it, just in case. And then of course I end up putting like page edge and forget that I wanted to ink. It's all right. Okay. So we'll glue it down. I think what I want to do, would it be cute to sew it? I think it would. What I'm going to do is sew here and here, but open. You know, I'm going to sew here and here on both of them, here and here. And then I'm going to take it and sew it all the way around. And then we'll see how that looks. All right, just real quick, I wanted to show you a little mistake that I made. I went ahead and I did sewing here, sewing here, sewing here, and sewing here. And then I realized, whoops, I didn't need to sew here until I was ready to sew all the way around. So now I'm going to have to start my stitch on one side or the other. You know, so really you just have to do these 3 and then all the way around. But since I have you here, we'll go ahead and clip off all of our strings and glue our pockets closed. Okay, so we want glue here and here, here and here. Just a little bit of that cracked paper sticking out, which is fine. It's just grungy, but I don't know. All right, so I'm all closed up. And now I'm going to start here and just go around. You don't have to, but I think since I started, I might as well finish what I started. So let me do that. All right, let's see if we can finish this up. It's been a little while, but I got some things ready to go in the pockets. So I finished by stitching all the way around. And we're going to glue it down as a pocket on 3 sides. But before I glue it, so I made this journaling card pocket. And it has this little guy in. I did some faux stitching all the way around on all of it. So that takes a little time, but it looks real cute. In order to give plenty of room, sometimes I will put what I'm going to glue down so that there's plenty of space for it. I'll put what I'm going to glue down, I'll put it in its place. I hope that makes sense. And it just makes, you know, the pocket easier to pull things in and out of. I don't always do it, but it's something actually that I used to do quite often. Okay, so we just want to make sure it's out of the way of the glue. And I'm going to give plenty of space for my signature fold so that it doesn't cause any trouble. And then just make sure it's all stuck down. So have you guys seen this pocket made before? I was sitting here thinking as I was preparing the things to go into the pockets, I used to do, it was, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe 3 years ago at this point, I used to do Pocket Wednesday, and this is going to go up on Wednesday. So I figured, you know what? I'll mention Pocket Wednesday. There was a hashtag I created. I don't know that anybody else has used it. So if you follow that hashtag, most likely you'll see all of my Pocket Wednesday videos, which could be kind of fun to look at. I have made my own little label here, and we're going to glue that down. Yeah, I have my own little book where each of the pockets that I made during that series, and I think I did about a year's worth of videos. I have a journal with all of those pockets that I made in it. I just have this little mushroom sticker. I inked around it already, but you know, I'm not sure the inking stays on stickers very well. We're going to glue it just to be sure. Okay, and then just a label down on this one. Sometimes I print my labels out on cardstock, and I don't know that that's necessary. This one is a cardstock label. It's pretty thick. And then I just have these. They're from a little paper kit. I think it was Echo Park from I don't even know when, because I have had it for a while, and I used some of it last year, and I'm going to try and use it up this year. So then we just have our little pockets. How cute, you guys. I'm loving this. I think it's adorable. What do you think? And then we have our pocket here. Okay, so yeah, if you're interested, you can go and check out some of my other Pocket Wednesday videos. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.